And now this is, it's become live. So our guest in that respect is Mr. Jake Ekpele, policy development and advocacy expert. And so a fine morning to you, Jake.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for being available. In fact, as always, I should be saying Chief Jake. The way you presented today is Chief Jake.
No, I'm just Jake.
So I'll be with you in a second, but we just wanted to put out first a package that we have that was prepared by Femi Akonde. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
After months of delay and fine-tuning, President Bola Tinubu has finally launched the Nigeria Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund. This is one significant promise in the Renewed Hope Manifesto. The Student Loan Access to Higher Education Act was signed into law by President Tinubu in April this year as a transformative initiative empowering countless Nigerian students to pursue their educational aspirations.
Education is the greatest weapon against poverty in any society. Without education, there's no vision. Without education, there's no development. Without education, you cannot even successfully conquer poverty, insecurity, and abuse in the society. Education is that light at the end of the tunnel.
NEL Fund already has a legal framework required to enhance access to tertiary education in Nigeria. 164,000 students have so far registered on the portal. Out of this number, 110,000 have applied for the loan.
Your Excellency, your visionary intervention by creating NEL Fund has allowed education at tertiary level to become affordable and accessible.
The World Bank, as well as the United Nations Development Goal, of which education is number 4, and of which Mr. President has recognized that.
Goal 4 of the Sustainable Development Goals is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. NEL Fund certainly brings Nigeria closer to achieving this goal. President Bola Tinubu also handed out checks to students who have applied and also their tertiary institutions. Data provided by NEL Fund indicates that Northern Nigeria has the highest number of applications, but there is still some skepticism shown by students in the south of Nigeria. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
Okay, our thanks to Femi Akonde. That report went out earlier. And so here we are, Jake. Much to commend. We do have our challenges. Nevertheless, life is going on. And so this is something of a bright star on a sober situation in the country, if you get what I mean. The Nigerian Education Loan Fund has taken off formally. It is now on stream. It is opened. Is that the way you see it too? That, so there's much to cheer about it.
No. There is a lot to cheer. I must commend the president that in spite of the economic challenges that we're going through, he still stood to his word, by making sure that the administrative processes of this student loan has gone live. And of course, like I said, there are some key issues, especially when it comes to inclusivity. One of them being, of course, I had expected the horse will be before the cart and not the other way around. I had expected the administrators to have created, a a very huge awareness before opening of the portal. I'm surprised the number of people that have so far applied, even when there wasn't much awareness.
Okay, yes. People found out.
But yeah, Fulari, this is not to criticize them. This is just to appeal to them to somehow rejig their strategy,
okay,
and embark on massive awareness,
okay,
especially in the rural area. I can come back and talk about other things.
Indeed, I do get you. But it has been launched successfully. But as you are saying, that is not to say that everything is as well as it could be. There have been some back and forths, as you recall. So, indeed, that point is taken. It does look as if this is being taken very, very seriously, but why wouldn't it be? The funding that has been provided for it is, it's remarkable. I think there's 1% of tax revenue, and apart from that, there's, what, is it a 350 million? Is it 350 million? 350 billion fund.
No, they already have 35 billion.
35 is the look. That's the figure I was looking for. They already have 35 billion. So it does look as if it is here. We've never had it before. President Tinubu said it, and now he's delivering on it. Well, this, as you said, it is definitely something that we haven't had before. Sustainability is the other matter. That this will be sustained.
That's right. That's right.
Sustainability is another matter. Tell me about that, because it's possible to take a simplistic view of it and say that, what are you talking about simplicity? Sustainability. It has started, it will never end.
No, you're absolutely right. I've been worried. As a matter of fact, Brother Fulari, I got up at 3 a.m. this morning and I started doing concrete research and putting the stuff together. Sustainability was one of the things that got my attention because they haven't. Maybe they have internally, but externally they have not provided us with their monitoring and evaluation mechanism, which definitely will have the sustainability factor incorporated in whatever their mechanism, the mechanism they rolled out. Especially the fact that this is an interest-free loan. So they're really not making money apart from the percentage that they make from the national revenue. Which sometimes may not be absolutely enough, taking into consideration that there's going to be administrative processes and administrative overheads, so it may not be enough. So there's a need for them to strategically focus on the public and private sector, bring people together now that will start making some contribution, either by way of maybe some tax incentives to donors. They need to also open up the process to social development funding, where they can get international partners to contribute to the fund, But then all of that is necessary. But what is most important is that they have to show transparency and accountability in the administration of the funds. Let this not become another conduit pipe for corruption. There has to be, it's public money and you're serving the public. So information must be open.
Indeed.
And transparent. And people should be held accountable. What is the monitoring and evaluation and sustainability mechanism? I know that they can't give us all the information in one day, but these are vital information. It's also important for Larry to note here that one of my greatest concerns is my community. I believe the president in his compassionate heart, were focusing on the most vulnerable, the people that their parents cannot afford to pay their school fees. If you are then targeting that kind of demography, what are you doing to make the portal accessible to this huge number of people? As it stands today, except by proxy, the blind cannot access that portal. Deaf people will also have some measure of challenges. You know, my community, persons with albinism, except you bury your eyes into the computer. But the greatest challenge is the digital divide.
Okay.
The community, I can tell you 80% of the community are not computer literate. How are they going to access this portal? I don't like to talk about problems without solution. I have one or two solutions, but I'll wait for when.
Indeed, I do appreciate the sentiment, because one has to be careful not to give the impression that it's perfection personified. However, I thought we might, talk about what this means to Nigerian youth generally. And it's very good that we started off by talking about, excellent as this is, we haven't had it before, there are a number of things that going forward we should keep an eye on with a view to improving as we go along. But the impact of this, let's talk a bit about that. Nigerian students have never had it so good.
Yep. Wonderful initiative. I salute the president, and I salute his courage to even roll out this program in the midst of economic hardship. That means he pays, of course, his antecedent shows that he pays premium to education. I remember Lagos State was, under his leadership, one of the first states that were paying WAEC fees for students, and so I'm not surprised. As laudable as it is, people like us are interrogating, not criticizing, but interrogating the process so that it will yield the expected result. I'm sure the president can beat his chest to say this thing has succeeded.
Indeed.
And that's what people like me are focusing on. We're not just looking at the problem, we're preferring solution. But hopefully, I hope they will listen. Polari, if they had heard me from the day one, when I did a position paper on the act, I did say that there's a need for Jimovia and his team to immediately hire a person with disability and make them part of his system so that that person can advise them well on what to do and how to do it.
Okay.
We are working for everybody.
I hear what you're saying, Jake, but it's probable that they do have consultants in that area. I'm not saying I know anything, but you have people, successful business moguls in there who hardly move without research and due consultation. So I'd be very, very surprised if they didn't have quality consultation with people from the community you're talking about.
Flori, excellent thinking. But the lapses we're seeing now with the rollout program shows that they don't. It shows that they don't, because that application, I went into that portal this morning at 4:15.
Okay.
And I couldn't access it, without burying my eyes into the computer. That means there are no plugins to help the visually impaired. There is nothing on disability on that platform.
Is that a very common thing on sites that are sensitive to the situation you are referring to?
No. This is one site that should demonstrate that.
Oh, okay. Even though it's not a very common thing. That's why I was asking. I thought you would say that for other sites that have as a target audience the community you've just spoken about, it's a very common process. But you're saying no, that So Nigeria needs to move itself out of the region of those who are not engaging with such, is what you're saying, what you're telling us. They can be innovative.
No, when you are digitalizing your process, and you know that at least 40%, if not 50%, of your audience, of your target audience, are this community.
Yes.
You should have them in your radar.
Okay.
There is no excuse.
Okay, I get you. I get you.
Yeah, you should have in your radar. Okay, so Fulani, let's take, because this is not criticism. This is constructive criticism so that they can make changes. The time is always right to do what is right.
It is.
You know, so this morning I went in and sent them a message because they had a fantastic, simple, easy to navigate website.
Okay.
Okay. And they have incorporated a very good practice, which is ticketing, so that people can immediately contact them and they create a ticket for you and all that.
Okay.
And I made up that contact, sent an email, sent my contact. They say, check your email. We just sent you an email. Email was not sent.
Okay. Okay. I get what you're saying. I get
These
what
are
you're
a lot of things that, you know, and for me, I would like to see a live chat, you know, on that portal, you know, because there's going to be a whole lot of traffic.
I get you.
You know,
I get you.
It might be best for them to have a plugin that allows for live chat. And this thing it's not rocket science.
All right.
It's not big, the amount of resources that they have.
Indeed.
And there's people, I mean, I listened to the executive director. He's very knowledgeable. You know, Jimovia have run many businesses successfully. He's a very successful man and technologically driven.
Let me bring on our first caller. Let me bring on Mr. George in Lagos. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Thierry.
Thank you for calling.
Good morning to Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
I do not have... The program is a very laudable one, no doubt. I do not have any issue about sustainability because there is a law backing it, and the law says 1% of the taxable revenue of the government should be committed to that program. 1% of Nigeria's earning in taxes in a year will not be less than ₦1 trillion. And if you use ₦1 trillion for that program, I think it is sustainable. So even if a new government comes and wants to make changes, they cannot violate the law. So that of sustaining it is there. My own concern is about transparency and equity in the allocation of slots to people. I mean, how will the fund be made public as like the admission, I mean, the payments they have made now, will be published on their website indicating where these candidates, which state these candidates came from. I heard now that candidates from the northern region are more than the ones from the south.
I was going to point to that. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Is it deliberate? Did they deliberately allocate it in such a way that more will be given to the north? If equity and fairness is to be followed, I think the same number of slots should be allocated to every state.
Okay. As you asked the question, is it that it was deliberately rigged like that, or that there simply were many times more applications from the north than from other places? The point is, they need to keep us informed on how they go about arriving at such statistics, so that our reporter, who was reporting just then, who said that more applications came from the north than from anywhere else. How did we arrive at that? I think is what you're saying.
Yeah, Polari, can I butt in?
Please.
Yes. No. I don't want to blame them. They put it out on their website. It's there on their website, and I don't think it is deliberate. I just know that most probably, you know, my dear brother, I walk across this country. When it comes to information dissemination, the Northerners get a lot of information. And they get a lot of information because 50% of their entire, or if not 60 or 70% of their media houses broadcast in Hausa. So the information trickles down faster, you know. And the people have these voracious tendencies to crave for information. They are very much aware. Their awareness is high. So I'm sure the information has circulated, and of course they took advantage of it, you know. So I don't think it's deliberate. I think it's a matter of their ability to access the portal, and in this case, they engage their people, you know. They engage their people, and they will help them easily fill out the distance, because again, there is digital deficit in the north, you know. So,
okay.
But
so
most of them have their phones on their hands. So it's not deliberate, you know.
So what?
And then.
So what?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, what we're doing is we're taking an overview of the president launching this scheme so that it's gone live, and these are incidental matters that are coming up. As you said, the point that was brought up by George, you yourself had noted on there, at least there was no doctoring of the figures, and here you are saying that, no. It probably may be the interest. That is why I was suggesting that, could it be that they had more allocations, or shall we say successful applications, as the fund itself describes that, simply because many more people applied? I don't know, but I take your understanding that you don't think it was intentional.
No. I don't speak for them. However, I don't think that's the case. It's just a matter of interest and dissemination of information.
And so many more people were interested in the north than other places.
Exactly. People taking advantage of the information that they have.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And for me, like I said, if they had invested in massive awareness, you know, and all that, it would have happened. And then, of course, you know, it's in fairness, the economic disparity between the north and the south varies. Most southerners are in school, and their economic potentials have a little bit, one notch or two over and above those and I'm talking about generality of the people, you know. So there's a lot more people who can pay school fees for their children and wards than there is in the north.
Okay,
so,
and now
that poverty has contributed to driving them to taking this kind of action.
Okay then. Well, I think I just wanted to touch base with you on the official launching of this. It's out there now. It definitely will be making a great difference. One, on the quality that we can look forward to in a very short time of building up of personnel as a pool that we'll be able to tap from that would otherwise not have been available with the situation where too many parents are unable to afford school fees in tertiary institutions. It's a commendable, event, and I thought that we should, you being a policy expert, and this is a policy development advocate, you've always spoken about things like this, and so that's why we sort of touched base with you. Thank you very much, Jake, for coming on the program.
Thank you, for in 15 seconds, I would like to say, one, they need to enhance the awareness campaign. Two, they need to simplify the application process. Three, they need to ensure that eligibility criteria takes into consideration persons with disability.
Indeed.
Provide a tailored support for persons with
disabilities.
And of course, doing everything possible to make sure that this works.
Thank you very much, Jake. Mr. Jake Ikpele, Policy Development and Advocacy expert. Always a delight to have him on. Okay, stay with us. We'll take a break, and then we'll come and look at another subject, the other thing that broke the, one when I say broke the internet, maybe I'm guilty a bit of hyperbole, but we're talking about the court reinstating Mr. Shuaibu as the Edo State Deputy Governor. That's the subject in the second half of the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back.